Have you ever wondered if, as a CEO, you're truly leading your marketing strategy, or if you're just leaving it up to others? Too many CEOs do this, but let me tell you why this can be a huge, big mistake for you and your team and your revenue. Marketing has to be an extension of your vision. And if you're not in charge of that, who will be? How many times has a missed marketing opportunity cost you a big deal? I'm Peter Murphy-Lewis, and I've been directly involved in creating and executing marketing strategies for companies of all sizes, from day one up to 20 million. I've worked with teams to help CEOs like you take businesses to the next level. You might have a great strategy written by AI for a company that's not yours. Even if it is for you, you're not going to have the direction, and you need the direction. So from my experience, CEOs at the beginning who are not marketers may not do the design, they may not craft, they might not create what the strategy is, but they need to be intimately involved. It needs to resonate with them. And at the very least, you need to check with other marketers in your network to see what your marketer is doing is the right thing to do. I remember 3 years ago, I started working as a chief strategist for a bigger client, trying to move from $5 to $10 million within 2 years. And he said, "Hey, Peter, I want you to build out a marketing team that comes between marketing and sales, like a revenue growth leader. And I want you to come up with annual goals and quarterly goals, and then let me know how you're doing." I told him, "Hey, this has to come from you. I can tease it out of you. I can ask you questions to come up with the strategy. But if you're going to pass everything off to me at the end of 6 months, at the end of the year, it might feel like I'm going to pass you a pizza that your 6-year-old put together with too many ingredients, that you have to oversee it at least at the beginning. And if you're doing anything new with like a go-to-market strategy or building out into a new vertical, you also need to be involved." I saw this with this client and he said, "That makes sense." So we started to have a daily stand-up meeting for about 30 minutes where I would bring to him questions, thoughts, and I build out the strategy. Within a month, I had a strategy and a playbook that he signed off on. With that, I then built out an annual goal and a quarterly goal that he signed off on and agreed to. We wrote up a scorecard for leading metrics, trailing metrics that would help both of us know if we were getting there. Today, I'm still working with the client and he surpassed the $10 million revenue. It was successful. Even though I am a great fractional CMO, in my humble opinion, I couldn't have done it without his participation. He shouldn't delegate marketing, and he made the right decision not to. So let's talk about some of the specific functions that you as a CEO or an executive have in marketing strategy. The number one is defining vision and goals. Your first job is to be clear as what is the vision for your brand. You cannot expect someone, a contractor marketing agency, nor me to know exactly what you stand for. You need to be the one to lay the foundation. And if you want your company to be known for something, you have to help define it and then make sure that marketing reflects this vision in everything that they do. And you'll be able to come up with goals to follow that. So this is not just about talking with a big team and big terms. It also has to be reflected in the actions that you take, the time that you dedicate to this team for them to build it out. Number two, I would say, apart from just defining the vision and goals, you have to think about key decisions around products and positioning. You have to be the one deciding how to position your product in the market. Now, you can ask somebody to come up for ideas. You can ask for somebody to compare and contrast with your competitors and how you're going to stand up amongst the competition. But you have to be present. If you have everything on autopilot, ignore what I'm saying. But if you're planning to grow, if you want to grow your revenue 20% or 30%, or you're going to break into doing something new or sell a new product, you have to be involved at the beginning. In my experience, the CEO who's involved in influencing key position decisions is more effective and efficient. I remember when I started working for a private equity turnaround project, kind of as an operator a couple years ago. The CEO was in charge of everything because the private equity brought him in to fire the sales team, to improve the product, to stop churn. While he didn't have time to do any of the marketing, he made time to be involved with some of the key decisions around product and positioning. I was brought into those product calls and he would say, how are you going to develop this into a marketing strategy? And I saw it in his eyes, and he signed off, and then I could run with it. He was not hands off in the product or positioning. And you know what? We had a successful exit for that project about a couple years later with a multiple of 10x higher than we expected when we came in. So stay involved. Okay. The third element I want to talk about is how a CEO should allocate resources. So we need to get practical here. You are the one who has to make sure that there are adequate resources so the marketing team can get to the marketing goals that you need them to get to. If you want to grow your company efficiently, you have to ensure that marketing is able to execute properly. This is not just about money. This is about giving them your time, your secretary's time, other teams' time, people, and any of the tools they need. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have the right resources, your marketing team is not going to get where they need to go. They're going to fall short and you're going to be pissed off. So the last one that I want to share with you around results is I want to talk about reviewing them and how you make adjustments. These are the moment where you need to pivot. So let's say that you've launched the strategy. It's your job as a CEO to start reviewing the results. I shared within a previous example with a client. He reviewed those results every quarterly. We had a weekly scorecard that was leading and trailing. I don't know how often he looked at it. I looked at it because I knew every quarter he was going to be doing it, and I needed to be ready to make adjustments. Now, he asked me to come up for ideas with the adjustments, but he was there and he was there present. He reviewed my results and he made the adjustments with me when we were failing or something was new or something was exploratory. Because of that, we had success together. I wouldn't have been able to do it without him. You have to be involved. I want to bring up another item that's important for you as a CEO, which has to do around representing the brand. Because whether you like it or not, you're the face of the brand. And it doesn't matter what your marketing team does, what I do as a fractional CMO, you are out there representing the brand on Zoom calls, in the community, with your team, and you have to show people who you are. I can't show people who you are. I can amplify what you do well as a marketer. You have to be present. And it's because ultimately marketing needs to reflect the authenticity of your company, your story, your mission, your values, who you are, your team. And you are the best representative of that 9 out of 10 times. The fractional CMO is a strategic ally who helps you carry out what you've decided. The great thing here is that the CEO continues to be the leader, while the fractional CMO should help you optimize and execute and ensure everything aligns with your vision. They'll pull together the reports, they'll pull together some ideas, but together you all should be making the decision. So what's the big difference between hiring a fractional CMO or a full-time CMO? Well, unlike a full-time CMO, the fractional has a lot more flexibility. Not only because it's a lower cost, but a fractional CMO is going to be working across other different industries. This person is going to help you focus on what really matters without the full-time cost, and they're going to be bringing in ideas from other teams that they work on. So the real value, in my opinion, of a fractional CMO, and this is going to be painful, is that a fractional CMO works with other CEOs who thinks differently than you. Trust me, the things that I have learned from being on the board of a bank has helped me strategically when I'm helping out with a zoo. It's also helped strategically when I was working private equity company. The learned strategies and tactics that a fractional CMO can bring from different teams is unimaginable. I know that if you've worked in the same team 40, 50 hours a week, you might think that they're going to be distracted. Not a good fractional CMO. Not if you check out their references. And the other thing that's good, if you need a fractional CMO for 5 hours per week for the next 3 months, but then on month 4, 5, and 6, you're planning to 2x your outbound, or you're planning to 2x your product development, and you want to bring that fractional in for 10 hours or 20 hours, you can. A full-time CMO's hours, they can't move from 40 to 80. It's just, you have to test it. If you can hire a full-time fractional CMO at $250,000 to $500,000, and you don't need them to be experienced in other industries, that might be the answer. Until then, I think you should test the waters of fractional CMO. So if you're a CEO ready to take control of your marketing strategy or have some help with it, and make sure that you're leading your company's future, then check out the Fractional CMO. It could be a perfect ally for you. Don't keep delegating your future today to contractors and agencies. You need to take the reins, and if you need help executing with it, that is where a Fractional CMO can come in. Imagine what it feels like to have a marketing strategy that not only you trust, but you know that's aligned perfectly with your vision. It sounds like you, it thinks like you, but you don't have to do it. Now imagine how much your business could grow with the right partner helping you to execute that vision. It's time to lead that change, and it's time to make it happen. Because at the end of the day, marketing is not just another department, it's a direct extension of your vision and your story. So as a CEO, you are the one who needs to lead that transformation. I'm sorry you might not want to hear that today, but you can do it. You don't have to do it on your own. And if you don't do it, the bad part is no one else is going to. It's not even going to be executed poorly. No one's going to do it. So get involved today. I'm Peter Murphy-Lewis. I'm the founder of strategicpete.com. I'm a fractional CMO. If this was helpful, hit the subscribe, hit the like, and reach out if you think that I can help you.